Morning, everybody. So, I was talking to one of my owner-operator friends, and he came back after taking some time off from being an owner-operator. He came back as a company driver, and this is one of the big advantages of having a strong relationship with a big box carrier like Crete. Things come up over the years, and you could go back and forth from being a company driver to an owner operator, go back to a company driver, go back to being an owner operator over and over and over again as necessary. I'm currently doing this. I came off of medical leave. I had sold my second truck, which was a 2019 Freightliner Cascadia. I sold it last fall, took 5 months off, came back as a company driver, and run for a few months. I'm getting ready to buy my third truck and go back to being an owner operator. I think the thing is that your years of service, even if it is with the same carrier, the same big box carrier, is not going to count towards their company profit sharing and 401 their 401k, um, as far as their investing schedule goes when you're fully invested. So there's no incentive there for an owner operator to stay as a company driver long term. This is why I did a video that said once you're an owner operator, you're always an owner operator, because the profit sharing plans and the 401k match rewards years of service as a company driver. You know, so if you're an owner operator and for whatever reason you go back to being a company driver, you're not going to make as much money. It's not going to benefit you that much to go back as a company driver. So you only want to do it temporarily. You don't want to make it long term. You just do it for a short period of time, maybe to save up down payment on another truck, or just get caught up on bills or whatever, and then go back to being an owner operator. Um, I came back as a company driver. I think they put me at like 63 cents per mile, and I think the top rate is 68 cents per mile. I, and it's because I'm only going out for 2 weeks at a time, regional. If I was going 21-day national, probably they put me at the top rate of 68 cents per mile. But 63 is not bad. It meets what I need for the time being. And then when interest rates come down, maybe truck prices come down a little bit more, then I'll get ready to buy my third truck. But the idea is that a big box carrier, and it doesn't have to be Crete, it could be Schneider or Warner or Swift or whoever. They'll have many options for you. So you could spend your entire career at one big box carrier. You could run as a company driver. You could be an owner operator. You could run day cab. You could run Walmart loads. You could run dedicated loads. You could run regional. You could run national. You could go from owner operator to company driver, from company driver back to owner operator. There's really unlimited options available to you. They just want butts and seats. It's like, you want to run as company driver, you can. You want to run as owner operator, you can. Whatever fits your needs. So this is one of the advantages of why do owner operators stay at Crete? Well, there's a lot of flexibility there. Crete, if you are in good standing with Crete will do a lot for you. They will allow you the opportunity to come back as a company driver if you need to. Just like when they have a truck loan program, if your truck is in a shop for an extended period of time, they'll loan you one of their trucks. Now you'll have to lease it. You'll have to pay, to run it, but they'll make a truck available to you if your truck is in the shop. So these are things that the company does that retains their drivers. Drivers like this. Drivers like the flexibility. They like that relationship they have with the carrier, that they'll find something that meets their needs. Maybe it's temporary, maybe it's a more permanent solution, but whatever it is, they'll make it work. If it's possible, they'll make it work. So can you go from owner operator to company driver for a short period of time? Yes, you can. Many guys had recommended it to me during the pandemic when my engine blew my second truck. I had like 1.2 million miles on it, and it finally blew. Guys were like, why don't you run as a company driver until prices come down? And I didn't want to, I didn't want to go back to being a company driver. And the truck prices were high, it was during peak freight during the pandemic, and truck prices were over $100,000. Um, so I bit the bullet and paid a lot for that truck. It was a good truck, I did make money on that truck, but I could have ran as a company driver for 6 months and waited for the truck prices to come down. So when I did go on medical leave, I didn't know how long I was going to be on medical leave, or even if I was going to come back. So what I did was I sold my truck last fall, and then I came back in April and started running as company driver. Been doing that for a few months. Now I'm getting ready to buy my third truck. So this is one of the advantages, the strengths of being with a big box carrier, is that you have this flexibility. If you're with a small mom and pop operation that only has 100 drivers, you're not going to get this kind of flexibility. You're gonna be without any options. You're going to be up creek without, what they call it, up shit creek without a paddle. You're going to be in a really bad spot. So you know a lot of times guys say, why don't you leave Crete, there's better opportunities. I'm like, yeah, I'm not too excited about that, because Crete meets all my needs, and I can't predict the future. And Crete's large enough that they can offer that flexibility. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the internet.